want a ticket straight to them pearly gates.
I wasn't going to make a video about this because I did not want to come off as a hater or someone who's jealous, I was just going to let the tide pass and just focus on Tekken 8. But Arslan Ash made a response to all the criticism, and his response is pretty interesting, and I do just want to dissect and analyze everything, because even before you get into it, well, I guess I should give a little background, right? When Street Fighter 6 did their beta, a lot of people played the cracked beta, and they were really good when the game first came out. The tournaments was completely destroyed because the imbalance. Us as Tekken players at the time, we were looking at like, well, when Tekken 8 gets a beta, what's going to happen then? Some people were saying, and some people still say, that PC should have never got access. They should have only did it on PlayStation 5 and Xbox. There's some people who say that you could still crack a PS5. I haven't seen that for myself, but the Tekken 8 beta rolls around, the closed network test rolls around, they get cracked immediately. Leaks happen, gameplay happen, it's chaos. Bandai Namco, they immediately put out a statement and they say, if there's anyone uploading or who's caught playing the cracked version of Tekken 8, you will be disqualified from the tournament, the Tekken World Tour, for an entire year. So everyone was like, okay, that's cool and all, but basically what you're saying is just don't get caught. Everyone's gonna play the Tekken 8 cracked in secret. Now, here's where Arslan comes in. When the beta got cracked on Arslan's desktop, well, a computer that he was using to live stream, there was 2 folders that was very suspicious. Players looked at these folders, and people who was planning to crack themselves, they identified those folders as the cracked version. Now, there was one person who, I've been using as a source for like the leaks and stuff like that. That person said that Arslan was not playing the cracked. So you basically had some people who were saying that is the crack on his desktop, and some people were saying it's not the crack on his desktop. At the time, I was not knowledgeable on the situation at all, so I was very hesitant to say Arslan's guilty, off with his head, so I was kind of just laying out the information, and then you guys make up your own opinion. But that was the accusations back then. Fast forward to the Tekken 8 EVO showcase. This is the first time we're going to see all of these players play Tekken 8 publicly, like in a tournament environment. I will just say from my own eyes watching the tournament, it was pretty normal, right? Nobi won a couple of matches, it was close, but then when Arslan got on the stick, I don't want to call him guilty, but it was very strange. Just how fast he beat everyone, how short the matches were, the setups he was doing, the Oki at the wall. It was a lot of things that me personally, I thought was very strange. In my opinion, I was like, there's no way you can learn this amount of tech in the 3 days of playing the beta. But then this is where Arslan's response comes in. In his response, he said they were given some time before the EVO showcase. Like, they showed up there early to rehearse, stuff like that, but also to play the game and make sure they learn how to play the game. And I do remember there was a tweet from Arslan before where he said Nina's really good. So you could tell they were doing some experimenting with characters, and maybe he really did just get that good that fast. When Arslan showed up at EVO showcase and he landslided everyone, people were quick to call him guilty. This guy's playing the cracked version. It was memes all over the internet. He posted a tweet, and in the responses of that tweet was just people memeing, saying, oh, you're playing the cracked and whatever, right? Some people were just trolling. Some people were dead serious. Fast forward from that tweet, from that event, right? Arslan smoked everyone. It was no contest. I believe he did a live stream, and in that live stream, everyone was spamming Crackistan. You know how when he first showed up, they were spamming Flukistan? The new term that they're throwing around is Crackistan. Now, I guess they were doing it a lot. Combine his Twitch chat also with the memes on Twitter and also the Tekken subreddit, Arslan decided to respond to all the criticism. Before we get to his response, I just want to show you some of the tweets and stuff that people were saying, some of the things people were saying. When Arslan first had the crack on his desktop back in the beta, Spaghetti Rip was quick to defend him. There's a screenshot going around of a public PC used by Arslan's bootcamp. The crack folder shown is from a software which increased download speed, IDM, and the folder with Tekken 8 in it only has the CNT and Rockstar launcher. There's no evidence of the crack. So this was basically them saying he's not playing it, and if he was playing it, this is a PC used by everyone at his bootcamp. In my opinion, it's Arslan's bootcamp, So if something is found there, it should go to the person who runs the camp. By the way, PC players did not buy this. There was still a lot of people who were like, oh, you're trying to defend Spaghetti Rip, right? And I'm just telling you guys what happened. I'm kind of trying to leave my biases out of it. This is just what people are saying from both sides. Some people are saying without a doubt he's guilty. Some people are saying he's innocent. Speedkick says, I promise, and this was at the time when this first happened. He says, I promise, nobody who's decent at Tekken is playing that cracked CNT anyways. The character balance will be too different. The universal mechanics are still legacy. Tekken skills and only takes 30 minutes to understand heat. And I kind of get that to a certain extent. Like when I was playing the beta and I was trying different characters, because Yoshimitsu wasn't in there, right? But I still know how to play Tekken. I still understand combos. I still understand spacing, punishment. So you just look for those things in those characters, and once you identify them, you automatically know how to utilize it. So there is some truth to this, what Speedkicks is saying. But Speedkicks responded to this after Arslan destroyed everyone at the EVO showcase. He says, they telling me Arslan's gameplay was a little cracked, but I was not watching, so the next stream we're going to do some analysis to see if the facts or if the guy's really underestimating a 4-time EVO champion on a new character. You got to remember, 4-time EVO champion. Say what you want about the crack or whatever, but make no mistake, Arslan is a 4-time EVO champion. That is not something to just throw around. That is very difficult. It's hard for someone to win it back to back. I think Nee only won it twice. So that tells you 4 times, don't sleep on that. Now, I don't know what Speedkick's conclusion was, but besides the point, the backlash or the uproar is the same. The evil Padawan responded to Speedkicks and says, I bookmarked this one because I knew it wouldn't age well. Once again, saying that Arslan is playing the cracked version. Now let's look at his response. There's a video here, but Arslan is speaking his language, so I can't understand it. But the person who posted this video to the Tekken subreddit gave us a brief summary of basically what Arslan was saying. He says, won the tournament, but many people are blaming that I played the crack. I did not play the crack. I proved that I did not play the crack. I think they can't believe that someone can play this good. Many people do not know that we got 3 days or 2 days and for the whole 2 days. So that's a little bit twisted, but I think he's talking about the beta and maybe he got some time before the actual event to play. I played Azuzina. I tried June and Nina as well. People are still blaming. It was just an exhibition, yet people are still jealous. Not really going into the details of the situation, but you can see that it's kind of getting to him. And this is the thing with Arslan, right? Arslan pays attention to what people say. He sees chatter and he feels a need to respond. Like, this guy won EVO 4 times and he still feels the need to say that we won this tournament, we're the best. I know there's a lot of people who's calling for action from Bandai Namco. Like, Bandai Namco, they put out that statement saying we were going to ban anyone, like, if we catch you doing it. And then Arslan, he's at least suspicious, right? And they're not even like acknowledging it. Here's the thing too, right? For Bandai Namco to speak up, that is going to elevate it to a whole new level. If Bandai Namco says anything about this at all, immediate headlines across the board. So I can see why they would want to be hesitant in saying it. You don't want that kind of negative publicity before your game releases, but at the same time, you didn't hesitate at all to put out your initial tweet. So now that it's time to enforce that tweet, you can't be scared to do so. The moral of the story that I see here, whether Arslan's guilty or innocent, he should not have let this happen. When you're at a height that he is, you have to do everything in your power to make sure your name is clean, right? You can't get caught up in stupid stuff like this. If you're using a PC to stream, you can't say like, oh, that thing on the desktop has nothing to do with me. If that thing on your desktop broke TOS, Twitch Terms of Service, they will ban you. They don't care whose PC it is. And the same kind of rules should apply for Tekken, right? It doesn't matter if it's a public PC or not. If you're using that to, broadcast to the world, you got to make sure there's nothing there that breaks the rules. So him And everyone else has to learn from this. You cannot put yourself in a situation like this because it's going to come with a bunch of criticism and you're not going to be able to shake it. You don't see other players getting caught up in stuff like this. You don't see other players have suspicious things on their desktop and then they have to explain it or have someone else explain it. It shouldn't have never happened, and it did.